Have you ever had that feeling? You wake up before your alarm, not because you're excited for the day, but just out of habit? On paper, your life looks perfect. You're making more money than you or your family ever thought possible, and yet something just feels off. Well, that was the exact reality for a guy named Abhishek. And his story, I think, shines a light on a trap that so many of us fall into.
This quote just hits it right on the head, doesn't it? I mean, from the outside looking in, Abhishek had it all figured out. A high-paying job, his own place, a nice car, all the things that scream success. He could buy the latest phone, grab some designer clothes whenever he wanted, but that happiness, it was gone in a flash. Deep down, he felt completely trapped, like a slave to his own life, stuck in this endless loop of earning just to spend. It left him feeling empty and totally stagnant.
And this is the heart of the problem, what you could call the golden cage. I mean, think about it. Abhishek was pulling in 2 lakh rupees a month. That's a huge deal. But instead of feeling free, he felt caged. He knew, deep down, he could be doing so much more, but he just couldn't break out of the very success that he'd worked so hard to build. So how does success become a prison? Well, here's how. With that 2 lakh salary, a whopping 1.7 lakh of it was already gone before he even saw it, earmarked for his mortgage, his car payments, all the other bills. He was basically just a middleman for his own money. And this cycle, month after month, just left him feeling totally unfulfilled, with no room to chase what he was truly capable of.
But then, everything started to shift for Abhishek. He stumbled upon this mentor, a guy people call Dr. Book. And this mentor, he gave him a way to finally understand why he felt so stuck. He laid out this whole framework, calling it the 5-layer comfort trap, almost like a diagnosis for what so many of us are going through.
And this was the line from Dr. Book that just stopped Abhishek cold. Dr. Book told him that over 90% of people are living this way. If their paycheck just stopped for 1 month, their entire world could fall apart. It's a pretty scary thought, right? It just shows you how fragile that high-income, high-expense life really is.
So Dr. Book breaks the whole trap down into 5 layers. First, you've got to realize that a high income is not the same thing as wealth. That's layer 1. Layer 2 is what he called the fragmentation trap, where your money just seems to evaporate through 100 little purchases you don't even track. Then there's layer 3, lifestyle inflation, which we all do. You make more, so you spend more, and you're stuck on that hamster wheel. Layer 4 is the big one, the golden handcuffs, which we'll get to. And finally, layer 5 is the gap, that all-important space between what you earn and what you spend. That right there is where freedom lives.
Okay, let's zoom in on layer 4, the golden handcuffs, because this is where the trap really snaps shut. See, all the nice stuff, the fancy car, the nice house, the cool clothes, they feel like perks, like rewards for your hard work. But in reality, they're the bars of the cage. Dr. Book asked Abhishek a really simple question. If you wanted to, could you quit your job tomorrow? And Abhishek, he sadly had to say no. That's the grip of the golden handcuffs. You're not working because you're passionate anymore. You're working because you literally can't afford to stop.
To really hammer this point home, Dr. Book told Abhishek this amazing story. It's a parable, really, but it perfectly explains the hidden danger when we choose comfort over the struggle that's supposed to make us strong.
So the story starts with this incredible wolf. He was legendary in the jungle, known for his raw strength. And why was he so strong? Because every single day, he had to hunt. He had to chase down tough prey. And that daily fight is what kept his muscles powerful and his instincts razor sharp.
But, the wolf got tired of the daily grind. He started wishing for an easier life. And then, one day, he found it. He discovered a camp of nomads who would leave out their leftover meat. All of a sudden, food was easy. No more hunting, no more struggle. He just had to show up. And he was happy, right? He was enjoying this new, comfortable life.
Here's the catch. Without that daily challenge, without the hunt, the wolf had no idea that he was slowly getting weaker. His muscles started to get soft. His hunter's edge got dull. The very comfort he wanted so badly was quietly stealing the strength that made him who he was.
And then, of course, one day the nomads packed up and left. The easy food was gone. The wolf had to hunt again. But he couldn't do it. He was too slow, too weak. In desperation, he found a dead rabbit and ate it. And that gave him an idea. He had to start small. So he started hunting rabbits. And slowly, day by day, he rebuilt his strength until one day he was finally strong enough to take down a deer again. He promised himself he would never again choose easy food over the hunt.
That story was like a perfect mirror for Abhishek. His big salary, that was his easy food. Yeah, it was comfortable, but it was making him weak. It was making him stagnant. He had stopped growing. So that's when Dr. Book gave him a real, actionable 3-step plan to break free.
And really, this is the question that matters, isn't it? It's one thing to understand the problem and see how the trap works. But what's the solution? How do you actually get out of the golden cage?
Okay, so Dr. Book's escape plan is actually super simple but really powerful. It comes down to just 3 steps. Step 1, you have to intentionally decrease your comfort to plug up all those financial leaks. Step 2, you have to actively seek out discomfort to learn new things and boost your income. And then, step 3, you take that extra money you've created and use it to build assets. That is how you build real freedom. So let's talk about step 1 for a sec. Decreasing comfort doesn't mean you have to live a miserable life, not at all. It just means you have to be deliberate. It's about plugging the leaks where your money just vanishes. Stop the impulse buys, cut the subscriptions you forgot you even had. And here's the biggest one. When you get a raise, you consciously decide to keep your lifestyle the same. That's how you make that gap between what you earn and what you spend bigger and bigger.
So Abhishek, he took all this advice and he actually did it. He started putting the plan into action, one step at a time. And look, it wasn't some overnight miracle. This kind of real change, it takes consistent work over time. But after just 1 year, the results were, well, they were amazing. The change in just 1 year was incredible. Before, he was just stuck, stagnant, unfulfilled. A year later, he was growing, learning new things, full of energy. By leaning into discomfort, taking on the tough projects nobody wanted, learning skills his coworkers ignored, he made himself so valuable that his income actually doubled. He even started his own side business. He was no longer a slave to his job. He was going to work because he was genuinely excited to grow.
And that's really the big takeaway from all of this. Comfort, it feels so safe, it feels so good, but if that comfort isn't connected to growth, then it's not safety at all. It's a trap. It's the story of the wolf, slowly getting weaker because he doesn't have to hunt anymore. Real fulfillment, it comes from the struggle, from pushing yourself into uncomfortable places and coming out stronger on the other side.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. We've heard Abhishek's story, we've heard the story of the wolf. Now it's time to look at our own lives. What's your easy food? What is your comfort zone holding you back from? What could you be if you were willing to step outside of it?